Yeah, I cried.
Like,
I actually
gotta
cried.
Stop this video. I gotta stop this video.
I actually cried. Like, I was like,
Did you stop the video?
No.
Oh my god, so you were
So
bawling
I was like
your
crying,
eyes out.
and everybody's like, I cried too. You're like, hey guys, it's Mimi1239 here, and I just finished watching my Girl Meets Legacy reaction video, and I watched the episode, and I thought it was going to be more emotional than it was, because it wasn't that emotional, at least to me. I don't know why. Is it because I'm not that involved with the ships, or I don't know what it was. I don't know. I have no idea. Hello, Joss. Now I'm going to be giving you guys my review video for this episode. I hope you guys will enjoy it, and leave a comment below telling me what you guys thought of this episode. What were your reactions? I don't know. I have a lot to say about this, and I'm really upset. I'm very kind of disappointed about one thing that did not happen in this episode that I thought was going to happen, because I think the writers did actually say this particular thing was gonna happen, but it actually didn't, and I was so disappointed. So let's get started now. This episode starts with Riley and Maya, and they're in their new bay window area, so it all looks different. But I actually do like the new look. It looks more mature. Then what happens? So it's like a awkward, like them just sitting down in their bay window, and they don't know what to say to each other. And then Lucas comes in through the window. He has cue cards, and he says everything off of those cue cards, and it's so awkward and it's so unnecessary. Like, can't he just say his feelings for them or whatever? He needs cue cards in order to say what he feels, and everything is just so bad. And he doesn't know who to choose, and he doesn't know what to do. And Josh, you're like, cierra la boca. Doesn't know what to choose, and they don't know what to do, and nobody knows what to do. And this is like the episode after New Year's. At least it was filmed after New Year's. I don't remember the production order. Yeah. Filmed after New Year's, but this is like taking place in the spring. This is what I don't understand. So like everything that happened, like they haven't resolved anything in the last like couple of months. Like nothing has been resolved. Like they've just been sitting at their bay window with nothing to say, and Lucas having like cue cards all the time. I don't know, this is so weird. That's kind of like bad timing. I don't know. So then they all say, well, what if they can't decide, or what if he does decide? What if Lucas does decide who he wants to be with? Is this going to be the end of everything? The end of all their relationships? The end of all their friendships? Is it gonna be the end? Yeah, kinda. Because if he chooses, like, let's just say, I'm not gonna say it because I ship everybody. I don't ship anybody in particular. Neutral. Remember? Hi, I'm Michelle. I'm neutral. Anyway, if he picks, let's just say, Riley, what happens to Maya? And what happens if he picks Maya? What will happen to Riley? I knew this was gonna happen, and let's just move forward. After the end of the theme song, they're in class, and basically they have a replacement for Farkle, so they actually have a duck instead of Farkle, because Einstein Academy stole Farkle because he's supposedly their mascot. And so what John Quincy Adams Middle School did was steal their duck, because that's their mascot, and nobody, like, did they actually consider Farkle as their mascot? I guess because he's like the smartest kid there, so they had to steal him. I don't know. I was actually like looking forward to see Smackle in this episode, because she is from Einstein Academy and she's going to be moving on to high school with them. But we'll see her. We know we'll see her in high school with them. Then what happens? It's like they don't know what to say to each other. Riley and Maya and Lucas don't know what to say to each other. Farkle's not there. The replacement is there. Corey is talking about legacy. What are they going to leave behind in middle school? What's going to happen to them? They're afraid of moving on because they have basically outgrown middle school. Now have to move on to high school. They have to confront their feelings. And it can't happen if they just stay in middle school. It just won't happen. So I'm like rambling on. How long is this already? This is already 6 minutes, 7 minutes. And what this reminded me of when Corey was talking about how he still has a lot to teach them was Mr. Feeney. Immediately I thought Mr. Feeney, because Mr. Feeney still had a lot to teach them when he was in high school, when they were in high school moving on to college. Mr. Feeney had a lot to still teach them, and that's why he became their teacher again, and he was their teacher for the last forever. He still might as well be their teacher. Then we're at the dinner table. Riley's still confused. She doesn't know what to do, so what does she do? She talks to her parents about it. her parents are like, well, it's good at least you're talking to us about it because we want to be part of your life. No matter how old you get, we will always help you out. We'll always listen to you talk. And I thought that was great. Augie was in this scene, which was good because he should be in the scene. Then Topanga's basically like, well, Maya's a strong person. She will be able to get through this. We see Maya come in and she's like a wreck. Basically, she falls to the floor. She doesn't know what to do. And then Lucas comes in. I don't remember how he came into the scene, but he's there. He has more cue cards. Ori says, don't use the cue cards. Just say exactly what you feel. You don't need cue cards. Okay, so he goes inside the apartment and Riley and Maya are in the bench. They're in the dinner table. And it's so awkward. And yet he's like, I'm going to stop all this. I am not going to choose anybody. And they're like so shocked. They're like, what? You're not gonna choose one of us? What's gonna happen now? What's the point in all of this? All the ships now. And I bet you guys were like that too. You're like, what? He doesn't choose anybody? What's this? But that's also a problem as well. Because if he doesn't choose anybody, no resolved conflict here. It's just gonna continue going on. And it's not gonna be healthy for their friendship. They just cannot see each other as friends anymore. They see each other as more because they're older. They're just older. Ow! So then the next scene is a complete mess. Lucas is not even like facing the classroom anymore. Maya's on her desk, like lying on her desk. And Riley's like outside sticking her face in the window. You're just like, what? You're not hearing me, right? You're not hearing me, right? Okay, good. So Riley's like sticking her face in the window and it's just so it's such a mess. Like, if he cannot choose one of them, then that's exactly what's gonna happen. Like, they're not gonna be able to be friends anymore, and it's just really sad. I don't know. It's so, I don't know. And then basically Cora's like, okay, go back to your positions. We are going to have a chat. And he takes everybody out of the room and he has a chat with his daughter, Riley. Maya and Miss Kozak, I think that's her name, the music teacher, the art teacher. They have a special moment where Maya basically says goodbye to her art teacher and she thanks her for everything that she has taught her, which I thought was a good fit to the end of the circle, right? The end of their middle school experience is when they all thank someone, an adult figure, for teaching them something. Then Farkle's teacher that he thanks is Mr. Norton, who was the science teacher in Girl Meets Sludge. Was it no, STEM. I keep forgetting. I always say Sludge. I don't say STEM anymore. And then Lucas's teacher or figure that he thanks is Harley, which I thought was great. I was like, yay, Harley, because I was like, who is he gonna like thank? Is he gonna thank the awkward ballerina coach? No, I don't think so. Harley was a good pick for him. I thought that was hilarious. So Harley basically explains how he keeps the school clean. He keeps it looking nice because he finds it special the way that students are there, but they're only there for a short period of time and a limited time. They don't stay there, but everything in the school does, like all of the stationable things, right? There's some stuff that students have to leave as students so that they can grow and they can move on to different things. And one of them is the bench. So Riley, Maya, Lucas, and Farkle, they all have that bench that they would sit on and resolve conflicts. I liked how they mentioned the bench as for like the last time. I was like, so good. When Harley mentioned the bench, I thought back to when I graduated elementary school, and I remember the last day of school when we were all coming down the stairs. There was the janitor of the school, which we had known for a very, very long time, since I was like in kindergarten basically. So he's always been there, and he shook our hands, and I was like, so basically everything stays. The lockers stay, the benches stay, the classrooms stay, the teachers stay, but the students move forward, and that's natural and that's great. And that's why I thought about my own janitor from my other school and how he stayed and all my other teachers stayed except for some. I thought that was a good reference. And then the next scene goes to Riley is still talking to her father about everything. Maya and Lucas and Farkle, they go into the classroom. They sit down in the regular seats. This reminded me of the graduation episode of Boy Meets World when they all graduated high school. They all stayed back and they listened to Mr. Feeney talk one last time about whatever, like his last lesson to them. That's what I thought back to, and I also thought back to the last episode of Boy Meets World, where they were all in their seats, they're all in their middle school seats, and he taught them one last lesson: dream, try, do good. So Corey ultimately gives them their last test. What have they learned throughout their whole experience in middle school? What was the thing that they learned? And we see now that what they learned was people change people, what us does for them, sneak attack, how friendship helps through everything, Canada, we have supporters. And then Lucas learned the most important lesson of all. What was that lesson? Feelings. Now he realizes that he does have feelings for Riley and Maya, and that's just the way it's gonna be. He can't hide them. He can't not decide. When they were a mess in the classroom, I was like, this is exactly what I feared was going to happen, because Maya was jealous that Lucas was looking at Riley, and Riley was jealous that Lucas was like complimenting Maya. And I was like, no, this is exactly what I thought was gonna happen, and I did mention this in my theory video. But anyway, Corey is like, you guys have outgrown middle school, you guys have to move on. Riley did not want to leave middle school, but now she realizes that she has to, because they earned it, because they know all of the lessons that Corey taught, the important ones. They think about, okay, what's actually their legacy? The most important question of this episode, what is their legacy? And they bring kids that are younger than them, that are about to go to middle school, and they show them around the school. They leave the bench decorated with a part of them. There's a plaque there that has their names. This bench is dedicated to Riley, Maya, Farkle, and Lucas. And people change people. Like, that's probably the highlight of this episode, was the bench. And then we go to their graduation. So right after they graduate, I would have liked to see the ceremony of their graduation, but it's alright because it's only a 22-minute episode. They couldn't fit everything in there. Okay, so we see that. What was I gonna say? Oh my god, Joss. Okay, so we see Katie there with Maya, and she's congratulating her. Katie makes a joke like, oh, you're like the most advanced person in this family now, and Maya's like, what, you didn't graduate middle school? And that was like the funny part. Minkus with Farkle, and Minkus is like, oh, you only have like 4 more years left to go to Princeton, and Farkle's like, oh, but I want to stay with my friends. And then Minkus is like, come here, you're not gonna do this now. Lucas and Zay are talking about what happened with Zay. Like, he went to Texas to spend time with Vanessa and to go to a formal or something, like a dance. And what he realized was that Vanessa missed him because he was gone. He wasn't there. That's when she started liking him. Not before, when he was actually there. So then Zay's advice to Lucas is, don't be there. Don't be there with those 2 girls, with Maya and Riley. And then he's like, well, you have 2 options now. 2, not 4. You have 2 options now. You have a blonde, you have a brunette, you have one that doesn't get in trouble, you have one that does. So who's it gonna be, me or Farkle? And that was like, I love that part. I was like, wait, is Farkle blonde or is he brunette? Or like, what? I was like, does that make sense at all? I don't know. Remember the prank they were supposed to have, which is like something traditional that they have, I guess, at the school? Their senior prank was that they got Corey promoted, so now he's going to be in high school with them, which it wasn't that shocking, but I still like that part anyway. I thought that was great. He's going to high school with them because he still has a lot to teach them, as he has emphasized a lot in this episode, and they realize that they need him. There's some stuff that you leave in middle school, such as the bench, so that others can remember you by, but there are also some things that you have to take with you in order to grow, and they take their teacher, just like Mr. Feeney was for them. Corey and Sean and Topanga, they took him they dragged him all through middle school, all through elementary, all through high school, all through college. But then at that point when they ended college, they had to say goodbye. And let's see how long this will go. How many years is Corey going to be their teacher? We'll see. I would love if they go to college. We'll see how long he's going to be their teacher. The next scene, again at the bay window, which is actually their bench. Their bay window is their bench of problems, where they resolve problems. But this problem, they have always had their bay window to resolve their conflicts, and it's always been resolved in less than 22 minutes that an episode is, basically. But this problem has been going on throughout the entire show so far, and it won't get resolved in this episode, which I was like, yeah, probably not. I actually kind of thought he was gonna choose someone, but Lucas was gonna choose someone, but he didn't. Then I realized when they were at their bay window, I was like, wait, this problem does not just solve, this problem just does not go by easily. It's not a 22-minute problem that will be resolved that fast, no. Then Lucas comes into the window again. Riley is like to Maya, do you still like him? And Maya's like, yep. And then Maya's like, do you still like him? And she's like, yep. Maya's like to Lucas, do you still like us? And he's like, yep. And that's basically it. They don't know anything yet. They don't know who, he doesn't know who to choose. He's so confused. Okay, yes, his feelings do count in this matter, so he doesn't know, and that's his action, that's what he took, that's his decision, he doesn't know. But we'll see in season 3. I can't believe this episode just, I cannot believe this is the last episode of season 2. Now on to my actual review, because this was like more of a recap, and this took like 26 minutes. The only thing that I will say that I did not actually was actually truly disappointed from this episode is that Morgan was not actually there. I think that the writers have said before that she was going to be there in Legacy, so I was like, what, she wasn't there, or what happened? Like, was she not able to film, or I don't know what happened, and I was kind of disappointed because I was like, I want to see Morgan again. Like, she was the person I was actually looking forward to. No wonder that there wasn't any spoilers about Morgan, like which Morgan was going to appear. No wonder, because none of them did. Or was she a ghost? I don't know. But that's basically it. And then overall, I did enjoy this episode. I'm sad to see that this is the last episode with John Quincy Adams Middle School, but we will see them in a high school. The triangle is not over yet, but wait, it still is it's not a triangle, sorry. So I'm going to read a Girl Meets Writers tweet at GMW Writers that I thought was important, and this was the last tweet that they have sent out thus far. Not the end of the triangle, because it's not a triangle. Tonight, the beginning of something else. So what was this the beginning of? Beginning of them discovering their feelings, I think. Of them actually knowing, like, what's the beginning of? I don't know. I did like how this episode did include the shippings, or the triangle that isn't actually a triangle, apparently. Was that my phone? I did actually enjoy that. I'm not saying that I didn't, because I actually do enjoy when they have their moments. I do enjoy that. But I also liked how they talked about legacy, which is actually what this episode was going to be about. I did learn a lot through this episode, and since I am going to be graduating soon, I think that's great. Now I know what to look back to when I'm going to be graduating. Sadly, I did not have a show like this when I was going to high school, but now I do, but I'm going to university now. I like that Minkus and Harley and Katie and all of those people were there. They did mention Turner in this episode. I kind of was looking forward to a reunion, but wait, didn't they say that Doi was going to be in this episode? Is Dewey ever coming back? Doi? Halloween graduation. What happened to that? I have no idea. It's like everything that they promised, not everything, but most of what they promised, like the guest stars, did not happen. Or did we just make up these assumptions? I don't know, but that's actually a real tweet that they gave out in August when they had their Q&A. So one thing I will say about this episode, it did make me realize that I'm similar to Lucas, because I cannot decide either who I actually ship, because I'm neutral, because I ship them both equally. I feel like I just realized I just became Lucas. I don't know why. I mean, is it important for me to decide who Lucas is going to end up with? When I had my prediction video and I was searching through the writers' tweets to see like which ones I would read out loud, I saw that someone said there is a division between Lukaya and Rukus, Is that a good thing? And the writer said, yes, that is exactly what we want you guys to do. To have a division, to have the division. Who is Lukaya trash, who is Ruka's trash? Apparently, that's actually what they want us to do. So I'm like, okay, do I actually have to decide now who I'm gonna ship? And don't try to persuade me, because if I do end up shipping someone, it will be because I like them, not because you guys are telling me to. I'm sorry, I have different tastes. I may like Lukaya more than Rukus. I may like Rukus more than Lukaya, but I like them both, and that's why it's hard for me to decide. I just became Lucas. Oh my gosh, I did not know that before. What are the writers trying to tell us with this? Well, I'm going to be making a ship theory video very soon, and I will also be making a season 3 wish list for season 3 in a couple of weeks, I think. I'm not sure if I'm actually gonna, because the next episode that premieres will be in June, which is season 3 episode 1 episode. So yeah, you guys can tweet me at MimiFanfic1239 your ship theory ideas for my ship theory video, and I will include them. I'll give you a shout out, and you guys can tweet me your season 3 wish list ideas for my season 3 wish list. What you guys want to see happen in season 3, I will include them. And yeah, I think that's the end of my review video, because this has like been a half an hour. I'll have a lot more to say later, I guess like over the next few months I'm going to be focusing more on Fuller House, but also I want to continue doing Girl Meets World videos for you guys. I will continue doing them. I will make up stuff, even if I will make up stuff, we'll see. Remember to check out my Wilfred L contest details and Twitter project, because I'm going to be meeting him soon. Like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel if you want, comment down below telling me what you guys thought of this episode. What kind of legacy did you leave for your school, or you want to leave for your school if you're going to graduate like me soon? I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for always watching. Mwah. And remember guys, there is no end to your horizon, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!
I've been waiting for a day like this to come, struck like lightning. My heart's beating like a drum on the edge of something wonderful.